Do you have when you get a chance, do you have a link to the Roll20?
Yes. Let's see. Are you on Zoom? Because I put it on Zoom.
I'm oh, there we go. I'm in the chat.
Correct.
Okay. I'll have to see if I can get that. I figured because my camera hasn't been working for forever, I figured I probably wouldn't open Zoom on my laptop, but I'll
Do you want me to send it to you like on Facebook? Maybe I can do that too.
Yeah, that or email me, whichever works. Actually, email would probably be easier.
All right, I did send it in that big mega thread of just everyone.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you go look there, it should be there as well.
Cool.
Travis, it's good to see you. I didn't think you'd be here.
Oh,
Is he? Is it just?
he's on another call right now. It looks like.
Oh, maybe that's part of it.
I think he said he was able to make it till 8.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've got it.
All right, I'm tweeting. And something I didn't exactly do in the past, and let's see, I know. Sorry, so Luke's coming later, like normal, and I know that Seamus won't be joining us, which is totally fine. Is this it though, like more or less?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because Chase.
Chase,
Seamus did.
lost 2 of them.
Well, and I'm still not sure about Chase because
I think, is he still on a boat?
It's like, no, I don't. Well, I don't know if he's still on the boat, maybe, but I think he's probably just going to say he's not coming into this game because it's, But I don't know. I might chat him up at some point and see, because I think every time I ask him, like, "Hey, when are you going to China?" the answer is different.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it would be cool if he could join. Shoot, what was I? Oh yeah, I remember now.
Sorry, guys, I was on work call and I got other stuff tonight, so I got an
No
hour I
worries.
can squeeze in.
Nice.
That's all good.
All right, sorry, I am. Advertising. But okay, so we're here. There's obviously not a lot going on because we're just kind of going over character creations. I'm going to kind of call this session 0. I know that there's like questions about, what curse you should go with and how things are going to work out. People are going to introduce their characters and so on. And this is a brand new Roll20, so I have to remember I have to disable everything. At least the video and the audio. What's that?
Do we have to as well?
I think so. It's a good idea to just go into that little gear and make sure that you click on the gear, go to the very bottom and disable audio and video for sending and receiving, because otherwise you're going to get like that dual. You'll get like a gnarly echo if you don't.
Oh, that's what Luke's does sometimes, right?
I think so.
Mhm.
And in fact, what I'm going to do is, because I get to overlap with so many different things, I'm going to add, if I can find it, the map of the Palladium fantasy world. And I'll just be showing, yeah, here we go. Good times.
So we're no longer in Faerun.
Correct. So this is the Palladium fantasy world. Let me see. Yeah, that's a pretty good size. And it's too much. Sorry. Close enough. All right. So y'all are probably seeing this map of the Palladium world. I think I learned a trick recently. Let me see if it works. Let's see, I'm trying to click so that it centers the map on a specific place. Did it do it?
I
Yeah.
think so. It's filling my whole screen pretty much.
All right. So
Yeah.
there's this area here called the Old Kingdom. And let's pick a brighter color. So you all are in this peninsula here, or at least close to it, where there's just all kinds of like marshlands and wetlands and so on.
Where is
And
this?
do you see there's a red dot on the map?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
And in essence, before the Dwarf Elf Wars, well, let me not get ahead of myself. So this world's history kind of goes back 10,000 years, and then before that, nobody wrote anything down, much like ours. And in those times, they went from rebelling against the progenitor gods, which were called the Old Ones, who created everything and were super powerful. There was a war between the Old Ones and what they called the Beings of Light, which included dragons and angels and a number of mortal sorcerers who were very powerful. And they didn't exactly win against the Old Ones, but they were able to put the Old Ones asleep. That was the best that they could do, was just to basically put them to sleep for like what they hoped was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. They're still asleep somewhere, like all of them in different parts of the world. And if even one of them was to wake up, it would cause all kinds of problems. But that was basically the beginning of known history, was the defeat of the Old Ones as they were put to sleep. Some couple of hundreds of thousands of years between that, or well, no, some couple of thousands of years between that and the next big event was what they called the Big Purification, where the remainder of the winning side went around destroying all of the creatures who were once minions of the Old Ones, which included vampires, which are like, dusk till dawn vampires. These are like, they multiply quickly, they're very quick. They can be destroyed by water and wood and sunlight and so on. And other nasty creatures that were basically just created to keep humans and humanoid creatures in check. Fast forward another couple of thousand years, and dwarves and elves basically were the predominant race on this supercontinent. They engaged in a massive war that rocked every bit of the world. And if you look on the map, there's there is a segment of it called the Balgor Wastelands. it used to be a luscious jungle that was mostly controlled by the elves. That was like one of the most beautiful and productive in terms of like food and everything places in all of the world. But between the conflict of the elves and the dwarves, they turned it into basically a radioactive desert. And the reason that I bring that up is that the elf dwarf wars were so violent, so thorough, that you are now living here in the Old Kingdom highlands in a place known as the haunted or the cursed fens of the Old Kingdoms in what used to be an elven village. And so if you can imagine like the Ewok village where it's like trees that go up like dozens of feet, rope bridges and all kinds of wonderful things having been built up in the treetops. Now the trees are all dead. So they're like dead, desiccated gray trees that still contain these structures. But in addition to all of that, the entire area is cursed. This whole land is cursed to attract things like ghosts and undead and other kinds of creatures. The only living things are things like vultures and carrion crawlers that will kind of permeate the area and look for things to eat. It's not a fun place. And this was, of course, one of the consequences of the great conflict between elves and dwarves. This was only one of many elven cities that was once wonderful and had unimaginable grandeur. It was just turned into this living death of a city that you all now inhabit. And the reason you inhabit it is that its curse is unique. Not only is it cursed to attract ghosts and other disgusting, nasty creatures, it also attracts creatures who are cursed like yourselves, because all of you are cursed. And you have been cursed, all of you, personally, by a creature or being known as the Pontifex Maximus. Most people consider the Pontifex Maximus to be some hag or witch of unimaginable power that lives in a rather opulent kingdom in the Old Kingdoms. So we'll say that the Pontifex Maximus's kingdom is like down here in the mountains somewhere. And so whoever the Pontifex Maximus is, they have gone around and cursed a number of people who have displeased her, and I use the term loosely because no one knows very much about the Pontifex. But you all have in some way, shape, or form angered the Pontifex and have been cursed. So now that is what we will discuss now is, who are you? What kind of weird circumstance brought you here because you were drawn here by the curse? And finally, and potentially most importantly, what is the curse that afflicts you?
Cool. Sounds awesome.
Who would like to go first?
I mean, I'll go first, I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Miltiades the Mightiful, and I was a gnome. Now I'm a rat. I used to be a magician and a musician, and I would play shows for the children in our village. All of a sudden, one day, this Pontifex apparently cursed me and turned me into this rat. And now every time I try and remember where I'm from or who my family was, I just simply can't. I remember being there, but as soon as I try and think of their faces, it disappears like sand in the wind. It's not a good place for me, so for some reason I was drawn here into this marshy wasteland. And here I remain until I can either turn back into myself and remember who I was, or die killing this Pontifex.
And remind me your character's name.
Miltiades the Mightiful.
You get points for that name for sure. I'm going to add the detail that the Pontifex hates beautiful music.
Okay.
Oh, bummer.
Terrible. I think they're cursed now.
So the Pontifex is just like listening to like Creed.
I mean, let's be fair. Nickelback.
Yeah.
Nickelback, like okay, that's true. Yeah, I have to. I also have to be honest.
Kenny G.
I listened to a lot. I listened to a lot more Creed than I did Nickelback back in the day. So it might also just be me making up for my sins.
I mean, let's be fair. There was an original like 8x11 paper that was fed into a photocopy that was called Pearl Jam. The copy that came out was Creed, and then what came out after that was Nickelback. And so it was like the copy.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, Ish. I asked you this in the email too. I wanted to kind of be like a kind of rat, kind of like Reepicheep and Narnia, like I don't know, 2 feet tall or so. Can I have a cat to ride?
Yeah,
That may have
absolutely.
also been cursed. My pet dog was also cursed, so now I ride my pet cat.
Who used to
Oh
be
boy, you guys
A dog.
gotta have some conflict.
Yeah, he used to be a dog.
So is this like big cat? Is this?
I'm
is
thinking,
this
yeah, like a bobcat size or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'm totally
Cool.
cool with it.
I think like a panther stat block isn't too ridiculous. I think that would work.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm okay with that.
Sweet.
And you're
And,
like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, I'm like 2 feet tall. Tiny.
Man,
And
I'm gnomes a lot.
and the cat, or my cat's name is Sir Lawrence the Lucky.
By the way, we're full up on the chat. There's like actually people here. I don't think I see one
Oh,
bot. So
hey
say
people, how's it going?
all right. So that's fantastic. Miltiades the Mightiful. That's I think that's my favorite.
Miltiades.
Miltiades. Miltiades the Mightiful. I think that's my favorite name since Bowflex DeVry.
That's a great name.
Oh brother, both
Um,
scams.
Travis, I'm gonna pick on you to go next because I know that your time is relatively short.
Okay, Cliff Clytus is a Gith Yankee warlock who is granted warlock powers from Pontifex Maximus as a young Gith. In return for these powers, she came to an agreement that one day in the future, Kif will be called upon to join her tribe or army. And while that time for Cliff has now come, as Cliff is going through a type of a midlife crisis, cruising every tavern and back alley, card and dice game in the Old Kingdom. And one night on a red moon, Pontifex Maximus appeared and attempted summoning Kif, but Kif was in rare form with Kif's drinking buddies, the dwarven drinking buddies, and Kif and the boys put up quite the fight to a point where Maximus didn't think the hassle was worth it and just mumbled some mumbo jumbo and disappeared. And that little mumbo jumbo turned out to be a curse. And that curse for old Kif was to speak in third person. And now that is a problem that creates a lot of issues with social gatherings. But Kif explains this curse, and most of the time it calms things down. But people do get quite annoyed with old Kif. So Kif's been chasing. Kif's still a big gambler, and we're chasing the big jackpot so we can retire someday. And for some reason, Kif Kif has been drawn to this this little commune, and runs into an interesting group of people.
Awesome. Excellent. I love it.
So confused because I did indeed think you said a Yankee warlock, but now I see that it's a Gith Yankee.
Mhm.
But I'm
No.
like, how? Because I'm from
I'll mess those Githzerai up anytime.
right. That has a whole set of names.
Bastards.
Bunch of hippies.
That's why you all are from the northern old kingdoms, not the southern old kingdoms.
Ah, yes. There you go,
Yeah,
Yankees.
those damn Gith Yankees.
There's a Mason Dixon line right here.
Oh, brother.
Uh, but excellent. I love the character idea. I can't wait to catch you not speaking in third person, so I can be like, anytime you don't speak in third person, like if you ever don't speak in third person, I'm going to give the monsters an inspiration point. The
Good.
DM
Perfect. That works great. Kip will be yeah. Kip will find it difficult.
All right, and then Andrew. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. Please tell us your character idea.
Yeah, no problem. Well, standing at about 6 feet tall, you see a humanoid in a long kind of leather duster and kind of a Western style hat. Underneath that, you see dull scuffed metal, but it's black. It shines a little bit, but it's like this black iron. And where you can see it on his forearms, his hands, maybe one place in his face, but on the rest of his body, you see holes. You see small round holes. You see holes that are sort of slits. You see one that is like maybe some sort of weird 5-pointed spear that goes right through his chest. And at his hip, you see a weird contraption. To the rest of us, it is a 6-shooter made of the same black iron that the metal of his body is made of. But it is filigreed in something that is not silver, but shines when it's in your peripheral vision. When you look at it, it's just black iron. But when you look away for a second, it shines just a little bit in this filigree. He smokes a long cigarillo, even though you're pretty sure he never actually breathes himself. And his name is Draw, because his first memory in this body was someone commanding him to draw, where he pulled out that big iron and murdered 4 innocent people. And since that day, he has kind of been wandering the land, vowing never to take those kinds of orders ever again. Whoever it was that put him into this body, for whatever purpose, he's not going to let them force him to hurt or murder the innocent. He doesn't remember his previous life, and he only goes by the first word he heard, the command that he will never follow, and that's draw. He is also a warlock, so we got 2 warlocks here.
Excellent.
Oh, and his curse. I thought about doing a curse about memory, but we've already got one of those. So perhaps I mentioned to Ish that perhaps the curse is that with this gun, this iron here, I have to draw blood with it before every sundown. I don't know if that works for you, Ish. That's really simple. Okay.
I have an idea that I want to float by you.
Sure.
So your memories are locked behind kind of like this mystic puzzle box. And the only way you can access them, basically you access like chunks of your memory at a time, are by killing people in one-on-one duel.
Oh. Okay.
So every time you win a duel one-on-one, you get some of your memories back.
Okay. So the curse is
That's-
yeah. Okay. Yeah. The curse is I may never draw blood again, but I will never gain my memories. I like that. I like that.
So you vowed not to draw blood.
No, the one thing perhaps maybe when I actually killed someone, one of the memories was I used to be a lawman and that my life was dedicated to helping and protecting people. And perhaps when I killed those innocent people, that memory came back and I was like, oh, this is what I did. And yeah, so it's what little I know of myself. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. That's pretty dope.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome. I like that. Fantastic. Excellent characters all around. And then Jen, if you are ready, if you need
Yeah.
more time.
No, I am. I'm typing the notes instead of handwriting them, and I'm back to note taking, but I'm going to type them now. So I hope that doesn't annoy people all the time.
No, not at all.
So
It has never annoyed us.
Well, really, and I know I sound like I'm like you guys are from the beginning. I was always so worried that like because I was so new, I would always be annoying, but no one has ever actually made me feel that way. That's all.
Well, good.
Okay, I am Mirik Cordata, and I am a lizard folk blood hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an outlaw.
Yeah.
So a wandering lizard folk blood hunter. And there is a variant on lizard folk, which is already a homebrew kind of thing, but you can give up one of their typical traits, which is this bite thing, to have a gout of blood that shoots from your eye. And since I'm a blood hunter and sometimes we'll have to blood in order to set a curse, sometimes I'll have to like blood myself and take hit points and stuff like that. But hopefully we'll work out so that there are certain curses will be tied to the gout of blood that I shoot out my eye. So how dope will that be if I can curse people by shooting a gout of blood out my eye at them?
Gross.
Yes. When I came across Pontifex Maximus, my natural lizard folk way of being simply in survival mode and just doing whatever needed to be done. And I'll have to think about this more, caused some, like pissed her off in some way that she thought I was rude and that I didn't like show proper deference or caring about how she felt about whatever situation we were in. And again, I'll try and fill out that situation. But either way, my curse is that despite being a lizard folk blood hunter, I am now cursed with emotion and compassion, which complicates everything I do.
Oh.
That is fantastic. I love it. I love everything about it. I never know.
The eye gout, that's the best, right?
Yes. Well, and now like I never know if we'll ever get popular enough that like people will do fan art of us, but I really want to see the horned lizard folk.
Yeah.
Definitely.
'Cause
So,
they
and
look
I'm
so
like
cool.
6'4". I'm pretty big, as lizard folk are. So I might be the tallest one of us. So, Gnome Rat can like chill on my shoulder if we need to go somewhere quickly.
Sweet.
I can carry the cat and the rat, and I do move very quickly. And I think that's about it. Was there anything else you needed to know, Ish?
Let's see. No, that is what I needed to know, and that is all fantastic. So thank you for that. It's already I don't know what Luke has made, and I'm really curious to see. But already this is a very awesome group of people, and I'm really curious to see how they're all going to interact and hopefully. And hopefully overcome their curses and defeat, if not at least drive away the Pontifex Maximus.
I hope so.
Dope. That's
So,
great.
does anyone have any questions or any points of clarification that they need?
Oh yeah, I forgot to
Um,
mention that my character dresses super well, and has a very fancy mustache with his whiskers.
Yeah.
He's a fancy rat.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fancy rat, of course. Yeah.
gotta make up for it.
Kif's just trying to tie D&D Beyond to this roll 20. How does it happen again?
Oh, Kef.
Do you need any information from me for that?
I don't know. The other ones, Kif doesn't know. The other ones, it just happened. It just linked automatically. I'm not sure where
I'm assuming everyone is using the level 7.
dream.
In fact, I'll rename that campaign because it just makes sense to do it. But if you use that same one that we had for the previous characters, then it should be fine. The level 7 stream game, I'm going to rename it because it just makes sense to. But I'm going to put this on the Zoom, so feel free. If you need to move your character here, you can, even if you've already created the character. And what it should do is it'll give you access to everything that you might happen to need for that character. So,
And again, we just had to open the link to this game and then open D&D Beyond. So Travis, I don't know if you know that already. That's something that I got stuck on several times in my other game. You have to open the Roll20 game first, then open your D&D Beyond, and then it hooks up to the VTT.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's it. Yeah.
cool. All right, awesome. All right, Merrick Cordata, I see Kif Clytus. I love that picture, by the way. And then,
Where are
oh,
the?
wow. Sorry.
Oh, they're there. Okay.
It's a trip seeing all of the characters that were in the previous campaign all lined up like that.
Right? Oh man, yeah, that's right. Bardrum. I made it to level 4.
Locke, that syrup not appearing in this game.
You, Joe. Yep.
You, Joe.
Remind me again how I put my character into and where I put it. It's into the journal, like the newspaper icon thing.
Yes, but what I have to do, actually, let me do that now. What I have to do is give everyone a character.
Yeah.
And actually, there's journal, Vitus, and you all can edit these when I add them. So you'll see ones that appear only for you. Let's see, draw. And if you have, as always, if you have a really cool character portrait or something that you want to add, that's going to be on the map on the virtual tabletop, please do. But if you want me to get one for you, I'm always willing to do so.
Oh yeah, I think I got the perfect one. That of course somebody else made.
Of course.
And I just Googled it.
Yeah, me too. Let's see.
Yeah, so that's on the level 7 stream. Okay, so I'll just add draw.
Right, I have added everybody's. I'm gonna go ahead and just add one for Luke. And he hasn't joined the campaign yet, so I'll just add it and then I'll change it when he gets a chance to join. Okay, and then true to what I said, I'm gonna go ahead and change the name of that because it just feels like the right thing to do. Content, no, that's not what I needed.
You just know how to change like your actual avatar guy. Mine's still like an owl.
Yeah, I think you just have to go into like your profile, don't you? I don't
I
remember.
think you do. Like unfortunately,
Oh,
what
like-
it is, you have to actually go into just generic roll.
Log out. Yeah, oh, gotcha.
Which is obnoxious. Like I wish there were a way to do it just for the campaign, but I don't know that there's a good way to do that.
No, no worries. That makes sense now, though.
And oh yeah, I
I
was
want to be
in-
consistent.
there we go. Edit campaign. Come on.
Cursed Fen of the Old Kingdom. Oh yeah, that's cool. Draw.
Yeah, I just went for I just googled robot gunslinger. And I was like, sweet. He's got this like weird tall hat, which I don't normally think of for like gunslingers, but it seems to work. And he's smoking a long thin cigarillo.
Nice.
Excellent.
And then how do I change oh, that's what you're trying to figure out too, Ryan, how to change your owl thing? Like, how do I change my blank purple thing?
So yeah, I had to exit, and then you go to like the main Roll20 page. You had to go up to the settings and then go exit game. Then go to where it like says your name, which mine just says Ryan K. But like top right corner of Roll20, like the home page,
Right.
and then my profile.
Okay.
Then yeah, if you hover over that, it should have a change image on that thing.
So y'all, I literally just Googled lizard folk blood hunter and it's super badass.
So it's so crazy that everyone who
course.
creates all this stuff.
People,
know.
you know what I mean? That people have
Yeah.
one. Like,
Oh yeah, I typed in rat person sorcerer. It popped right up.
yep.
And he's super fancy as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a sweet coat.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right, now I got to see these badass pictures. Oh man, that is so cool for draw.
Yeah, I think sweet.
And Miltiades. Sorry, I'm gonna get used to that.
No, no worries.
Miltiades.
That was actually the name of one of the customers at my job.
See,
too.
now
I
you,
was like, oh, that's perfect.
whatever job you have, you just have an endless array of names that you can use. Ron
Yeah.
Borg,
Just tons of
Miltiades.
Oh, Ron
Is that where you
Borg.
got the name Ron Borg? Was from somebody
Yep.
at work?
Yeah, his email. Well, it was like slightly different. I didn't want to give it away on the stream, but yeah, his
Okay,
email
okay.
actually was like ronborg@ronborg.org. And it was just perfect.
By the way, speaking of Ron Borg, did anybody tell you what happened to him?
Oh no, Seamus requested a painful death.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they like.
I'm sure it was painful.
Everyone was running away from the demons, and you decided that you would stay behind to like hold them off
Nice.
while everyone else got away.
That's what Ron Borg would have done. That's for sure. just kind of cyborg he was.
So this is like, bear with me because this is kind of goofy. This is literally an Ewok village, but that's basically what this is.
Okay.
And y'all in the chief's hut and village meeting place, it's one of the few places that has been hallowed, which is a very powerful spell that keeps things away. It basically protects you against all of the evil things that are just attracted to this village in the first place. But on almost a daily basis, you have to make war with whatever strange creatures or entities that have inhabited this place, just so that you can go out and hunt for food. And today is no different. So if you all want to put yourselves like kind of in this just more or less center area.
So the meeting house is safe.
Yes.
And why is it safe again?
It has been affected by a Hallow spell. Hallow is a 6th level cleric spell that basically can make a place holy and therefore will repel things like ghosts and undead and demons and so on.
Hey, Ish, real quick, I wanted to double check. Since I'm proficient with DM armor, would it be okay if I started with like a chest plate? I know that's not usual
I don't have a problem.
adventuring gear, but sorry,
That's
what'd you
fine.
say? Okay,
Yes.
or a breastplate, I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Warforged don't have breasts, so chest plate seems fine.
But yeah, just torso plate, upper torso.
plate.
Yeah.
I
I mean, some of them may get the augments, but you know.
Okay.
And so we should all be in the meeting house?
Yes.
Oh, wait, there's other things I need to do.
Kif, do you need me to add a picture for your character?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that again. I know it.
No worries. If you send me the link wherever you want to do that,
Okay.
and I will do that for you.
So
level 1 is real humbling. 60
Yeah,
points.
right.
And tell me for the millionth time, red is hit points?
Yeah. So at least this is how I do it. There's people who do it different ways, but I do red for hit points, green for passive perception, and blue for armor class.
And real quick, so we've been here for a while, right? Do we have like a bit of a relationship with each other? Or
I
should
would say
we
that you all at least know each other. You all at least have like a passing familiarity.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
if you want to say that you've like developed a special bond of friendship or anything, you can. But at the very least, you all know each other's names. You know enough about each other to like kind of regard each other with some familiarity. You know, you wouldn't necessarily like feel compelled to save someone's life if they were like, you know, in front of a stampede of rhinos, but you might care enough that they're not going to help you then hunt for food the next day.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw this out there, guys. I think we're kind of the guardians of the galaxy here.
Right. Well, maybe if we spend some time with everybody, like something you may know about Draw is that he usually ends up having at least a good portion of the night watch because he doesn't have to sleep. And unless he's really like beat up, he can just stay up and walk around all night. No problem.
He's sort of a robot? Is this what we're...
Yeah, so he's a warforged, which means that like he'll still do like a long rest, but he just goes into like this like rest state. He can still see and hear everything around him, but he just doesn't move for the amount of time that it takes. But if he's fine, He doesn't need a long rest. He doesn't need to sleep or rest or anything. He can just keep going at his regular pace.
Okay, and Kif, what do you look like? What do you wear? How big are you?
I'm 6. Kif is 6 foot, and Kif has more of like a loin cloth with a vest, a leather vest.
Oh, Andre's gonna be Luke is gonna be jealous no matter what he does.
Oh, wait, I didn't zoom in on this. Of course, it's Kif.
And
All right,
what is a Gith Yankee?
Kind of
You
like
guys should look those up and see what they look like.
kind of like no, I wouldn't say a troll. What is he? Goblin, kind of.
Nice.
yeah, they're kind of like tall, a little goblin looking. They don't really have noses, but they've got like yellow skin and if they have hair, it's in weird like patterns.
Oh, they're really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best way I have of describing them is they're like these weird psionic humanoids that have like less of a nose and more just of kind of like the suggestion of a nose.
Mhm.
But they're kind of like if you crossed an elf with a goblin, but just as tall as an elf would be.
Yeah, makes sense.
Gaunt is also another way I would describe them because they always have like very pronounced facial bones.
Yeah, these images are fantastic.
Yeah, they like, so they date back to the second edition of D&D, and like all of the art that was made for them was always very fantastic. All right, cool. So I think I've got everyone sorted out. Let me see.
So every day we have to venture out to get food and we're gonna be attacked.
Yes, you're almost more worried if you don't get attacked, because then that means that something is like smarter than to just attack you outright. All right, let me see. So, hello, Luke.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Greetings.
Everybody made it on time?
Yes.
We've been on for a bit. Just introduced everyone.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm just leaving the gym. I'll be home in about 30. So who is everybody?
Well, we've got a lizard, we've got a rat, we've got a robot, and we've got an elf goblin hybrid.
Oh man, what gross.
And a real
pretty bad.
crew of
Who's the robot?
Well, technically I'm not a robot. But yeah. That's it. I suppose that's me. I don't know. Who the hell are you?
Oh, this is. Well, once I get home, I'll do my accent. I can't.
Oh, okay, got it.
Edward Crow. I am a human rogue swashbuckler.
Great.
Okay, Edward Crow.
Yeah. Got a fancy for the finer things in life. Have we gone over our curses that everybody has?
We're revealing them now.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear these.
And we all were cursed by the same being.
Correct. The Pontifex Maximus.
The Pontifex Maximus. So you'll incorporate that into whatever.
Okay.
So while you're driving, do you want us to each give you kind of a short description again?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. If you guys don't mind.
All right, I'm Merrick Cordata. I am a 6'4" lizard folk blood hunter. I am an outlander wanderer, and I'm very, very excited about the fact that one of my traits is I can shoot gouts of blood from my eye. And so some of my blood hunter curses I will be able to set that way.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, and I figure that'll be very dramatic. And I am cursed with emotions and compassion, despite being a lizard folk blood hunter. So it makes everything I do really like fucked up and complicated.
I think I said something like that to Ryan. I was like, oh, that'd be hilarious if Jen had like was afraid of pain, and it's almost like that.
I'm afraid of causing it. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am Miltiades the Miteful, and I was a forest gnome, but now I am a rat, cursed by this Pontifex. I also can't remember what my family and the love of my life look like, or where, or their names or anything like that. But I can remember the life surrounding it, where I was an entertainer, magician, a musician, comedian for the children in our clan. But now I don't think I can ever find them again. So definitely looking for some retribution, at least if we're unable to reset these curses.
Nice.
Oh, and I'm a sorcerer. And I guess I forgot to mention that too. Like, my powers kind of started after this curse occurred. And for your knowledge, Ish, I'm like the wild magic version.
Oh wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be so much fun.
I know, I saw that. I was like, definitely got to do this one.
You're a
Wait, sorry.
wild magic sorcerer.
Yeah, so like the way I guess it's like the way your powers were imbued to you is through wild magic, which is like chaos magic, and you, like, all this like random stuff can happen at any time because I have so much like power within me. I don't really know what to do with it.
All right.
Well, and I've got another separate wild magic table, so that
cool.
I'm not even going to use the one from the player's handbook.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Couple of questions. Does it still have the potted plant?
Oh, I hope so. That was actually the first one I saw.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I will make sure it does.
Okay, good. Because that's just classic. That's just classic 5e D&D.
So
And
good.
Edward Crow, what's your curse?
Oh, I am cursed with a little bit of the kleptomania, which I don't know if I've more or less been cursed with it or blessed with it. But anytime I see any kind of valuable, I don't have to take them all, but I definitely have to take a bit for myself. So fine dining silverware and whatnot, and coin and from vendors. So anytime I can try and pickpocket, I kind of am pushed into it. But it's not something that I hate. However, I don't like the idea of the control over me. So I'm a little bit not repulsed by magic, but uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
So would it upset you to have someone cast like haste on you, let's say?
Yeah, it's like it's ability that I will accept, but it also is something that I won't actively try to get.
That makes sense. All right. So you all do spy what appears to be what they call a tectonic entity. Basically, it's some kind of like a poltergeist style ghost that just draws things onto itself until it's this big hulking mass. And it seems to have taken from one of the graveyards below, and it's climbed up here. But it is kind of waiting for you to come out of that hallowed area. And it's even like taunting you and throwing things at you. It takes like a skull off of its body and throws it into the safe area, which it can do, but it's not trying to hit you so much as it is just trying to like get your goat.
No. What a jerk.
Oh, it seems like there's a spot of trouble over there.
What do you think we should do? Go kill it?
I don't know. It's so we're familiar with these things ish.
You have had to deal with these in the past. There are a number of different entities that will basically inhabit the different areas of this village. But there are tectonic entities, there are actual poltergeists, there are haunting entities. Basically, these are all varieties of ghosts that will kind of haunt the area and do all kinds of terrible things, whether it's just trying to keep you up at night or actually just trying to tear you apart with their weird telekinetic might.
Hmm.
Wait,
I
I got nothing to lose.
A bit out of character, but Andrew, what class are you?
I am like Kif, I'm also a warlock. Yeah, so very charming, but also I also have a 6-shooter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily have anybody that's able to, soak damage.
Not necessarily.
Well,
All right.
a bit. Probably the closest one is Jen.
Yeah. Blood Hunter probably.
As a blood hunter, I can well, I have a lot, I can take a lot of damage, but I also, I guess I haven't, we're at level 1, so I haven't added any sort of healing stuff yet.
Right.
That would be interesting with my curse.
Yeah. So I think we're all a bit. We're not as squishy as our rat folk sorcerer.
Real
But-
squish.
And by the way, there is a race of creatures called ratlings in this setting. So you're constantly being basically confused for one.
Nice. Sounds about right.
Draw is gonna like perhaps go out here and just like kneel down, put his hand up on the on a ledge, and just like get his aim for if we want to start some trouble with this thing. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Well, I'm in for a fight.
By
the way,
Lord, and-
I just want to show you the picture of the tectonic entity from the original book.
oh,
And
cool.
it's basically just like a heap of garbage.
Yum.
But it's like a big heap because look
Nice.
at that's like a person down there. So I just like showing off pictures is really all that there is to it. All right,
Where are
but
you showing us? Are you showing us?
oh,
Oh, it was
Did
on
you
the,
not
it was
see
on
it?
Zoom.
Okay, sorry.
sorry, I didn't.
Looks
maybe I
like
didn't-
the thing, but with garbage.
Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I didn't.
Like skulls and
I
stuff.
should have specified because usually I do show you through.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Um,
So I
But-
agree. Let's go.
Well,
Um,
Kip's gonna run before this battle starts, so good luck, guys.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, Kif. Oh,
well,
it was
we-
nice
we'll
knowing
miss
you.
you.
To the little cursed tavern in the village. So, Kip, we'll see you guys next week.
all right, man.
Later, buddy.
Good luck.
alrighty,
Oh,
and then
numbers
there
grow
were
thin.
3 or 4. But y'all
4.
can roll initiative if you want to. I'm just going to give this. Well, let's see. Let's throw around the old initiative.
Wow.
14.
All right. Excellent.
And I have to, this is what I always screw up. I have to click on the one on the map
Correct.
Mhm.
and then roll initiative.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. All right. So, Luke, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you cool if we do this combat without you?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Cool.
I could potentially roll. Did you add your character to the campaign?
I don't believe I have yet.
All right. No worries. We will bring you in after this combat probably. But all right. So it looks like draw is first.
All
and
right.
what the creature is its dead last. So go ahead and do your thing.
All right. So I think I'm just gonna. Well, hell. I'm just gonna shoot it. That's just what. That's one of the things I do. So I'm gonna pull out this huge 6-shooter of a firearm. It just looks like midnight made metal, and it's massive. And I pull it out and I just go to.
And I want
shoot.
to be clear. Committing violence in the hallowed area will negate the hallowed area. So you're going to want to get out of there.
Oh, well then, okay. So then I'm not going to prop myself up to shoot. So the hallowed area, do I just have to like go to like these platforms down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Like how far of a jump down is that?
Not very. I'll say like it's maybe 2 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna like just kind of like flip over here,
All right.
and yeah, and then I'll fire with a 17 on my sidearm, which I was
That
told
certainly-
was named Cold Soul.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. The only way I could make a D10 weapon that I could use with charisma. So I'm gonna go with one-handed damage.
Sure. All
We'll
right.
just go with that because it's just one-handed. But I picked the well, wait a second. No, sorry. So I picked a longsword because the weapon I wanted to use was a pepper box,
Uh-huh.
and that does D10. So I guess I should do the D10 damage, the two-handed damage, because I picked it because I wanted it. What do you think?
Well, I was going to say, if you want to remake it as a heavy crossbow, that might work a little better. And we'll just kind of ignore the handedness of it because a heavy crossbow obviously is 2 hands. But if you just want to have, do you know what I mean? Because then that would do the D10 damage.
Right. So, but the thing is, to make it my hex weapon now, it's got to be a one-handed or or a versatile weapon.
Okay. No, that totally makes sense. No, I'm okay
Okay.
with that. And then it does the, I get it. Totally.
Okay, yeah,
So,
sorry, I totally forgot. Yeah, so 14 because I was going for that for the D10.
Very nice. You just shatter a giant chunk of this creature. It looks like you've done a significant bunch of damage to it.
And you see draw, and he takes no pleasure whatsoever in it. But that's his. Well, yeah, I think that's my turn. There's not much I can do as a bonus action.
That makes sense. Miltiades.
All right. How big are you, Draw?
Well, I'd say I'm about 6 feet.
6 foot. All right. Well, I'm gonna just climb up on your shoulder a little bit.
Oh,
and-
all right.
So I think we've talked about this before. You should warn me about that. But
Scramble up,
it's all right.
and
Just a
then
little
I'm gonna cast a firebolt.
All right. That is a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not very good.
And the sad news, I won't call it bad news. The sad news is that your firebolt misses, hits a nearby tree. It is so old and dead and desiccated that
no.
it doesn't even go up.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing
wow.
left to burn. Um,
Wow. So wow, if you made this place even more depressing than it was before.
Really terrible.
This place won't
Um,
even burn, man. Oh,
uh, and I'm gonna have to learn. Is it Myrick?
Merrick, yep. So Merrick, so this is my question. We said we were gonna switch out the bite and the hungry jaws for the gout.
Yes.
And I'm just letting you know, I'm not gonna use it right now, but bite and hungry jaws are still in there.
Okay. I do need to swap them,
Okay.
and I will do that.
I'm going to move towards it and actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the crossbow and shoot an arrow.
And do remember, you have to leave the hallowed area to do that.
Yes, so sorry, I will.
No worries.
So is this leaving it?
You would have to go like out here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's good.
I have an 80-foot range, so it should be fine.
Totally.
So I'm gonna go there. Is that too far to move or?
No, that's fine.
Okay, and I'm shooting the crossbow.
A 12 unfortunately misses. You aim a well-placed shot at this creature and it just goes through one of the gaps in its kind of like cluster of bones. So it does not do damage, unfortunately.
Okay.
And the tectonic entity starts moving over and it decides it wants to go over to Miltiades and attack.
Don't worry.
Miltiades does a 15 hit.
I'm going to go ahead and do a shield.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, this
and then it
creature-
does not.
This creature attacks with a hand made out of broken rib segments that are just shaped into this nasty claw, and the broken rib segments break even further, basically splintering against the shield, causing them to just become shorter and sharper. But it does not hurt you, at least not yet, but certainly not for lack of trying. Draw, it is back to you.
okay. Well, real quick question. So Miltiades is on my back. So technically, I should be like right here.
Yes.
Sure.
He should be on top of me. So if I move,
Here, there we
we
go.
both move, and he would get an opportunity to attack against either one of us, or just me.
Yeah, you basically could choose who he would attack.
Okay. Well, Miltiades would still have the shield up. if
Correct.
We went. Man. Oh man. The thing about firearms is I can't shoot again until I reload, but that takes my action. Sorry, let me check the spell here real quick.
You didn't shoot last time, did you?
Yeah, I did. Wait,
thought-
no. Sorry.
Yes,
I-
cold
I-
soul.
Huh?
What is cold soul? It's your
Oh,
head.
it's
Cold
the name of the
Soul is
gun.
The name of my gun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was it's a hex weapon. It's not the hex.
Yeah, it's my hex weapon, named Cold Soul.
Ah.
So, and the thing is, I forgot because I said I was using a pepper box. I don't need to reload until I shoot 6 times. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bonus action cast Hex on this bad boy.
Okay.
So that is my 1 spell slot. And I'm going to choose. Oh man. On any ability checks, what would be a good ability check to give it disadvantage on? Let's do perhaps strength. Let's give it a disadvantage on strength checks.
You do that. And you notice that like pieces of it are falling apart as it's effectively its strength is what keeps it all together. So you
Oh,
think you
sweet.
good job.
Okay, so that was my bonus action. So my action is I'm going to take a second shot with Cold Soul.
Go for it.
I'm within 5 feet though, right?
You are.
Bummer. Okay,
Hey,
let's
that is still a hit.
All right. So two-handed, that's a 7 piercing.
Yes. You have dealt another mighty blow against this creature, just shattering chunks of it as you are shooting it with this weapon. Almost more the concussion of the bullet coming out of the gun is what does more damage to it than the actual bullet. But still, well done there. Miltiades, it is your turn.
All right. Since he's so close, I'm gonna hit him with a poison spray.
All right, so it needs some
DC 12 con save.
Let's see. We'll just say +1. And it makes it.
Then I am good.
All right, Mirik. You're not close enough to it that you suffer any penalties if you do a ranged attack, nor do you have to worry about an opportunity attack.
Okay, am I close enough to do a melee attack?
You would have to move just a little bit closer, but you can.
All right, I'm gonna move a little bit closer and slash with my short sword.
Do it.
So-
Ooh, that is a critical hit.
So I don't, what does that mean?
That
What's the
means you do.
difference between piercing and piercing critical?
It adds both of those, so you do a total of 9 damage.
Okay.
And which is really good. You cut across this creature, cutting through literally bone and other kinds of debris, and you effectively destroy its right leg, and it's just kind of leaning to one side. Now it has to use one of its arms to kind of like, do this weird kind of like sideways, like Harryhausen weird creature kind of movement. But
Scary.
let's see, it's not quite destroyed yet. And the unfortunate part is that you think that this thing keeps coming back and just like gathers up more mass every time it does, just to kind of harry you. So far, you have not destroyed the creature; you've just destroyed the mass that it has created. But now it is its turn, and it actually has taken issue with you, Mirik, and it's going to attack and misses. So you're fine, but again, it just takes like a big meaty fist, or I shouldn't say meaty because it's all bones and clumps of dirt, but it takes a big ham-like fist and bashes it through the planks below you, leaving like a pothole-sized area. But thankfully, not hurting you and not throwing you off of your balance. But still, you think if you had been there, it might have crushed some of your bones. But thankfully it did not. Draw, it is now your turn. Draw, if you're speaking, you are muted.
Gore it. Sorry, I cast Hex on it. So, and if it's hexed, I should do an extra 1d6 damage to it, which I didn't roll.
Go ahead and roll it now, if you like.
Yeah, I totally forgot that. So an extra 2. But also, sorry, with the Mirik, it rolled the damage with the crit, but I don't think it added the her bonus to it, right? Because
Well, the crit damage doesn't add a bonus, but let's see.
What's my
but the
Um,
only damage it rolled was the dice damage, so it should be 9 plus, what is it, 4 for the.
Oh, I
Am I,
do
if
have
I'm
a
misreading this?
+4 on the short sword.
Well, some of that is proficiency bonus. You get proficiency bonus to the attack.
Oh, is it?
And
So
then
that
plus-
probably was, that's why it's a 24.
yeah.
Oh,
So the
So
plus
some of
4
that-
was added in there. Like if I
oh,
hover over the 24,
I got
Because the
that.
initial damage was
20 plus
1d6
4.
plus 2.
Oh,
Which
okay,
is 2
so,
or what have you.
okay, so it added that to the first roll, the.
Yeah, but not the second one, which it wouldn't.
Got, okay, sorry, okay, I wasn't sure
No,
if it
thank
was
you, 'cause
rolling
I'm
right.
always trying to understand the dice rolls, which I
Yeah,
don't.
well, and every so often they seem to change how we roll these things, so,
It's true that the roll 20 does like to tamper, unfortunately.
But I did roll an
Um,
actual 20 apparently.
yeah.
Yes,
why
the
I-
first one of the campaign.
Woo. Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there, the extra 2 damage from last time. And you know what? I think I'm gonna try to get some distance. And I'm gonna take an attack, but I'm gonna run over here with my rat friend. I can't remember what's your name?
Miltiades.
Miltiades.
Yeah. it is.
Miltiades? Okay.
Um,
14 does not hit.
Okay, so yeah, it like kind of it tries to attack again, and you see these like knuckle bones that are made out of like we'll say actual knuckles.
Ooh, great.
And it kind of scrapes along your armor in a very unpleasant way, but it doesn't hurt you at all. It was just that noise of like knuckle bones on metal. But yeah, you do not get hit. Go ahead and make your next attack. I presume you're going to be doing another revolver attack or pepper box.
Yeah, let me just, because I've already put a hex on it. And I forgot about Hexblade's Curse. She's one creature for 1 minute. I get a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Ooh, I score a crit on a 19 or a 20. I think I might save that for right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for an attack.
Go ahead.
Normal roll. Oh shit.
Ooh.
Okay. So, plus an extra. Wait, do I get to do an extra 1d6?
2d6. That is also.
Well, yeah, 2d6. Okay, so the slashing should be piercing, but so 8 plus 5.
So far, it's 13. Is what I'm counting.
13? Okay, 13 plus 2d6. So an extra or an 20 total.
Very good. So you find just the right spot that you hit it, and it just explodes. The pieces of bone and grave dirt go everywhere, and just kind of like it shatters everywhere. Thankfully, the magic of the Hallow keeps any of the debris from falling into that, but like all of the debris kind of shoots outwards and falls down towards the ground. And you see this kind of like, there's Luke. You see the kind of powdery grave dirt that was left behind, and it kind of forms like this smoky face that is just kind of laughing at you, and then it just dissipates.
My
Is that
God, I need to
normally-
get one of those.
Is that sorry, friend Miltiades, is that usually what happens? Have you
Is
ever
it-
seen that before? When we kill them, do they always laugh at us like that?
Feels like it.
It's just damn rude. That's what I say. It's just damn rude.
There are a handful of other people here that kind of poke their heads out once the danger is gone. There's, I'll say, one of the cursed people has been cursed to take the form of this little kind of we'll say kind of like an armadillo that can roll, like, well, actually we'll call it like a little humanoid pill bug that's like maybe yay big. That's just a child, but they like turned into a pill bug and they could like roll around and whatnot.
Oh, if it wasn't a curse, it'd be so cute. Oh,
It's a pill bug child.
Yes, or like some people call them roly polies.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
And
what
what
like
is it?
just
Maybe it's
imagine
like first-
imagine that if it was unrolled, it was like this big, but it's just like, you know, like if there was a Disney character that was like a little pill bug or roly poly, that's kind of what this creature looks like. And it's
what
just
is it doing?
what's that?
What is it doing?
It's one of the inhabitants, one of the cursed inhabitants. Like they're not a bad person. They're just like they're here and cursed like you
One
are.
of us.
Yes. And
Yes,
so this
one of
little this pillbug child just goes, is the danger gone now?
That's right, Pilly. That's right.
Billy.
Pilly, the danger is gone for now, but you must stay ever vigilant.
Okay, but you took care of the bad guys, right?
Yes.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, Pilly just like rolls back up into a ball and like, you know, scoots off.
Seems like we need to do something about this.
Well, we do it every day. What the hell is different about yesterday as opposed to today as opposed to tomorrow?
We need to find the source and get this Pentafax murdered.
Right.
So you all at least have afforded yourselves some time where you can go and do some hunting for food. It's really depressing because all you have to eat are like vulture and carrion crawler, and neither of them is especially appetizing. Unless you want to wander far afield and see if you could find something that isn't one of those things.
Are we like magically compelled to stay in this area, or are we like free to go?
It's-
We're just drawn to it.
You're drawn to it, and it's the kind of thing where like circumstance more than anything has brought you here. But you know that like the fate that works around the curse of this area, because it's cursed. You're cursed, and it's kind of like a magnet that draws you here. You could go somewhere else, but it's likely, at least you've heard from the other residents, like in a year's time, you'll come back here. You'll want to come back here, or you'll find yourself in some kind of a situation where it'll draw you back here. Whether that's because you what's the word I'm looking for? You were run out of wherever you went to, or because there's something comforting about coming back here. Like everybody always comes back once they've been cursed by the Pontifex.
Feels
And
like
there's
home.
about a good 24 people here of various different kind of like, you know, creeds and so on. In fact, the kind of sort of mayor is this weird like twig man that's made out of wood. And he's probably the oldest resident. But in the daily combats that you have to kind of find yourself doing every day just to get out, people die. And it's not unusual to just see this cycle of like people who show up, they leave and come back, but more often than not, they'll find themselves here and killed in one of the attacks by the creatures that just permeates this area. So it's kind of a weird death sentence being cursed and being drawn to this place.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When I use, it says that if I use blood maledict, or maledite, maybe if it's in like indictment, I don't know how to say it.
Mhm.
But I roll my Hemocraft die that is shown in the Hemocraft die column of the Blood Hunter table. I have no idea where that is or what that is.
Let me see. I need to bring that up. I have an especially hard time with this stuff because I don't like, I need to do my homework on Blood Hunter. You're the third Blood Hunter in one of my games, and I need to like, you know, brush up on it. But let me see. Let me bring it up and see if I can figure out. more about this Blood Hunter.
And it might be hard on D&D Beyond because it's not an official like D&D class. So they may not have like incorporated everything into it.
Mhm.
Like
All right,
if you
so
if you
there-
go into class features, maybe there's something in there. It might
I'm
tell
gonna
you,
share
but-
my screen super quick, if I can. Yeah, here we go. But so there is in D&D Beyond this table, and your Hemocraft dice starts as a D4, which stinks because that means that the extra damage you do isn't that much. But it's also good because the damage you do to yourself isn't that much either.
Okay,
a-
how do I access this table?
I will send you the link. Oh.
That class seems pretty cool.
It's a sweet class.
Well,
It's
that's
really
what
neat.
Luke played it as Bill, and it was fascinating to me. So I was
It's
like,
good.
next time, that's what I'm doing.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and- I didn't get anywhere on Bill. Like, I mean, I didn't play him a ton, so it's awesome though. Everything I got to play with was really fun.
And Andrew, were you about to say something?
Well, I do have to ask, just out of personal concern for you, how many tabs did you have open?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, man.
That's
Well,
not
you know.
even. Yeah, that's not even the max. Like you should see my work computer.
Yeah, when I do it on work, it's awful.
Oh,
Every
man.
so often I'll have to save all of my tabs so that I don't lose them if like a power outage happens or whatever. And it'll be like, okay, do you want to open these 32 tabs? And I have to say yes. Yes, I
Oh
do
my
want to
God.
open 32 tabs.
Just
Sorry,
life
that's just my
hack.
own. That's just my own ignorance. I've never had to have that many tabs open at once. That was
Well-
just mind blowing for a second.
And I think I was like when they decided to make tabbed browsing a thing, they did that for people like me because back in the day, I would open like 20 instances of Internet Explorer or Netscape Navigator or whatever it was back then, because I needed to have like that was just how I used the internet. And so I think
Mhm.
somewhere along the line they're like, no. Instead of opening 12 programs, we're going to let you open these pages. It was a godsend and a curse at the same time.
Right.
Hey.
Bless you.
All right. But yeah, you all have defeated the threat. It's up to you if you want to do some scavenging nearby or if you want to try and go further out to try and get something a little bit more palatable.
Um,
I'm gonna.
What does this world look like, or what does this room look like?
So I was describing it earlier. It's like an Ewok village, but imagine if like all of the trees were dead, and
Okay.
everything just like completely, like a haunted, dead forest.
Oh yeah,
and
did you catch any of the like story of this world, Luscious?
Nah.
You want to give him like the quick rundown on the dwarf elf fights?
Yeah. So this is like a real quick like Cliff Notes version, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you the. I'll show you. Oh, hey, let's get these guys out of here. You're not as big as a continent. But if you see this map,
Yeah.
yeah. The short version is okay. So this is the Palladium world. The written history goes back about 10,000 years. Before then, there was this massive conflict that happened between the creators of this world called the Old Ones. Basically Cthulhu type entities that like made all of the world, made all of the different races and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Sometime in that weird prehistory, there was a big rebellion where the beings of light fought against the old ones, and the beings of light were like dragons and angels and humanoids who had gained power through things like wizardry and so on. So there was this big, huge war, massive casualties on all sides, and the good guys won, but the only way that they could win was by putting the old ones to sleep. They could not destroy them, They were that powerful. There was no way to actually just undo them. But they're all somewhere on this continent, asleep underground. And if even one of them was to wake up, that would be probably the worst thing that ever happened in written history. So that was like kind of 10,000 years ago, more or less. Fast forward a few thousand years, that span of time was what they called the time of purification, where the successors of the war on the old ones wiped out all of the minions of the old ones, which included things like vampires and monsters and other beings that were created to wage war on the beings of light. There are rumors that some of those things still lurk out there, and the idea that they would just terrifies everybody. Fast forward a few more thousand years, and you get what was called the Elf-Dwarf Wars, which, as you would imagine, was a massive war between all the elves and all the dwarves. And so powerful was this war that it changed the face of the entire continent. There were so many things that happened, so many destructive things. If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the two volcanoes down in the Mount Nimro area were created as a consequence of the Dwarf Elf Wars. And also the Balgor Wastelands, which was once one of the most beautiful and plentiful jungled forests, is now a radioactive wasteland. And that was a direct consequence of one of the massive, powerful weapons being used from the Dwarf Elf Wars. And I mention all of that because one of the other consequences of the Dwarf Elf Wars was your village that you live in now was once a beautiful elven city that has just been rendered into a cursed, depressing, haunted area. And the only reason that you all are here is because it is cursed and you are cursed and you basically are drawn together like magnets. You all have been cursed by the Pontifex Maximus, who is a mysterious being thought to be like a hag or a witch or some kind of a lich king or something. Nobody really knows. But the Pontifex Maximus has their kingdom in kind of like a city-state here in the mountains. But because they have cursed you, you are living in this really depressing area here. And all kind of have clustered together due to your respective curses. And then, I'm sorry, remind me your character's name, Luke.
Oh, Edward.
Edward. And did you say why Edward was cursed?
No, I didn't think I didn't know if I needed to do that or not, or wanted
And
to.
you don't have to like worry about that right now. I just wondered if you had an idea of why.
I mean, I would. So my initial thought was basically, he's a bit of we'll just say a pirate in general. So his greed got him cursed.
I like it.
So I would say, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too far, but I would say probably trying to steal something from the pontiff would probably be the reasoning.
Sure, absolutely. So that brings us more or less up to date. You are all here in this area. What I was basically saying much earlier is that every day you have to fight to get out of this area because there's like weird ghostly type creatures that will pop up every so often. And so there's hardly a day that goes by that you don't have to come out of your protective shell in one of the buildings that has been consecrated and fight one of these things just so that you can go out and gather food for everyone else. So now the question is, do you go far to get good food, or do you stay here and get like really gross food?
I don't know about you all, but I'm real sick of vulture eggs and vulture meat. It's greasy, gross, and grimy.
Well, I'd say that the problem for me is that, frankly, I don't have to eat. So
But maybe you'll get to kill something.
right. I know we haven't spent a lot of time. I don't take pleasure in killing,
Oh,
and I don't take pleasure in eating.
Oh, so this really is a bust for you.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm riddled with holes, and I'm made of metal. uh, I'm sure whatever my life was before was far better, but my vote is to stay close and safe.
And how
Uh,
many
Hey,
how many people are in this village?
there's like more or less 24, and that includes all of you.
I say we have to go.
Well, it seems like we are the only capable fighters. And if y'all are going, I might as well, I suppose, lend my hand and make sure I can do what I do so not so many of our capable fighters die.
I say perhaps we go and go as far as we can for the best food, and maybe we don't return.
I mean,
Well,
Well,
we're compelled to return.
eventually.
well,
Hopefully,
that
we
is-
can get
that
away
is,
for a
um,
while.
That
we-
is, unless we're dead, and then all of our problems are solved, I suppose.
Are we truly compelled to return, or is that just
So you all have like talked to people who have lived here for some time, and they all say the same thing. They're like, you can leave, but eventually you'll be back. That could be superstition. That could be just self. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Self.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Fulfilling, yeah.
So, well, but like what is it? It's another term I'm looking for.
conclusion kind of thing? Like we're always
Kind of, but it's like I'll think of it, but it could just purely be psychological, where you just feel like you have to come back, like it's like a compulsion, or it could literally be that the curse changes your fate so that you have to come back. No one's really sure, but that's kind of like everyone kind of trades stories and talks about it, and like everyone is kind of like the people who've been here the longest are the ones who are most like, yeah, this is just your lot in life. Like we've kind of given up, trying to fight it. And so they live here and they try and make the best of it. And some of them even just, some of them even just throw themselves into the combat, the daily combat, just because they think like, hey, maybe this is the way out.
Right.
well, yeah, with my my dislove of necessarily getting myself killed and my love of a salty breeze in my face, I say we go a little bit of a distance out there, Savvy, and maybe we don't return for some time.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Oh.
These
I
folks
don't want to
seem
be
like
trapped
they're,
here forever. This place is a real shithole.
and just when I do can I do like almost a perception to just see if there's anything good to take sort of put in my pockets.
That's probably the worst thing about this place to you is that no, there's really not. Like this place, like, you think if you were to go to like the poorest part of the poorest city in the poorest country, and go rummaging around in all the chamber pots, you might find more. You might find more wealth than you do here.
All right. Well, my natural disposition says I would like to not be here.
So I've kind of let's see.
Is draw
Yeah.
join us if we leave?
Well, I'll certainly go out as far as you're willing to go. The only thing I can't quite abide is leaving all of these innocent folk here to fend for themselves against these hordes.
If they are in the hallowed space, they will be safe.
Right, but eventually they're gonna have to go out and find their food, right?
Well, we can bring them lots of food, hopefully.
Right. But again, my concern is that if we all go out there and we all die, then well, I don't know why I'm Cajun. I'm supposed to be a Western character. Um, well, I say,
I was getting
Um,
like some Wyatt Earp there, like.
yeah, I have to work on it. It's not one of my best accents. I say, if we all die, then they're all left to go up on their own.
So we must not die.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think I'll go out with you. We have better chances in numbers, I think.
So
Yeah.
I
Wait, or unless one of you was talking about all of us going even further and leaving.
I would like to, I'm going to kind of creep up on, oh no, sorry, Jen. How do I say your name? Merrick?
Eric?
All right. I'm going to throw my arm around you and kind of, paint out the bigger picture of a world that's better than dead trees and full of riches for all of us to plunder. At the same time, my hand might slip around a little bit, going into different pockets. I do have sleight of hand. How would I roll that?
Yeah, but do you have D&D
it
Beyond?
just-
I do. I'm just looking for it. Is that something I could do on a party member? Or is
Yeah,
that something?
I mean, given your compulsion, I would say probably.
Okay. All right. Let me find my.
Who are you stealing from?
I'm not necessarily stealing, but borrowing. Let me open my tab. I gotta find the slide of it. I need to find where things are now. I'm so used to having two options.
Yeah.
Unarmed strikes, no reactions, opportunity.
Look
Sneak.
in the column. Look in the column of skills.
Skills. Where's skills?
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Oh, yep. Oh, additional skills. Huh. Oh, goddamn. Sleight of hand of +6 and dex.
Okay.
There you go.
So I would roll. Let me see if I can make sure see if I can't remember all this stuff now that I'm not used to it.
No shit.
Oh,
Wow.
my chat's not working at all, so I have no idea what I just rolled.
Oh, really?
Rolled an
Yeah, I
18.
can't see anything. Oh, there we go. Oh, an 18.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You steal something. I don't know. Maybe something of consequence. Maybe not.
I mean, I would assume, I don't know what you have, but like a watch or some coin just slips out.
Wait, so who are you stealing from?
Yeah.
From Mirik, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
If it's sleight of hand, do I know that he got it?
You can roll a perception.
Where is that just regular perception?
Yeah. You get the feeling that something is wrong, but you're not sure what.
Okay. Stop touching me.
Wait, can I make, because he's being weird, can I make a perception?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm being a creep. It's more just sort of trying to paint out the world.
Right.
I know,
right.
but
But she's just like, don't touch me. She's a little, don't fucking touch me.
okay, Luke, you may not have known this before, but I used to be a lawman. And so I pull out Cold Soul and I say, all right, Crow, you've had your fun, but you got to give it back.
All right. Sorry. Old habits, love. Sorry.
I know that's a bit of your, I don't know, we wouldn't say cross to bear because there's, I assume, no Jesus in this world, but that is the weight on your shoulders, but don't worry, there's always eyes to keep you honest.
But I still want to reinforce the world of adventure out there and plunderable goods. It's
So
got
we
to be
know
better
he
than
does
this.
this, and everyone basically just like eye rolls, but lets it go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I'm gonna make it canon that Draw is gonna watch everything that Crow does.
So I'm gonna, I'm not doing anything to Draw yet.
No, no, to anybody.
Yeah. I go up and I'm just gonna say, just a little too handsy on Draw and just sort of pat him on the shoulders, dust his chest off, and say, "Again, sir, it's my bad." Old pat-
And Draw's gonna put the barrel of the gun on your chest as you do that. And be like, all right, yes, I understand.
All right.
And
So
see-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, I'm writing up a map just to kind of show if you guys want to go somewhere, there's a couple of options, at least in the immediate vicinity. Let's see.
You're drawing it up right now, right? I'm not just missing something, right?
That's what we think.
Okay. Okay.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
let's
still
go
working
to
on it.
Sargasso of Regret. Is that the sea?
Yes, that is, and I'll fill that in momentarily, but let's see, I'm still working on it.
Wow.
Yeah, let's
So,
go
and
catch
we are
some fish. And I'm a lizard. I can move in water pretty well.
Yeah.
well, and I don't need to breathe.
I'm fine.
Ooh.
I'm home on the seas. But
So we
I
are
gotta
at the
say,
cursed-
none of these places seem like places I would want to visit normally.
No, they definitely aren't. That's kind of the point.
So we are in the cursed fen, right?
And is Fen is two ends. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it normally one or am I?
No,
think
it
it's
probably. I don't.
Yeah,
What-
I every time I've seen fen, it's been with two ends, even though I never knew exactly what a fen was.
Well, it's on a fish. It's how they move through water.
Oh, Luke,
But I'm
oh,
fine.
brother.
It's Edward talking.
How many kids do you have? Because that was definitely a dad joke. And if you have none, then you have no excuse. Oh.
All right. So I just wanted to point out some of the places that you'll see here, and just for the ease of information, let me see if I can. So this is good, just goofy. Like here is the ocean. So here's kind of like blue stuff, and that's not great. I wish I had a fill tool, but I think I would screw this up. In fact, let me just. I don't know. There's not a really a good way.
The sea looks angry and childlike.
Okay, yeah. So above the little kind of, that wouldn't be a peninsula. That'd be like what do you call that geographically? I don't know. I can ask my dad. He would know. But
Archipelago.
no, that's just like a little. It doesn't matter. That's all the sea.
Okay.
Ah,
So it is just kind of a peninsula. It juts out into the water, and kind of like at the base of the peninsula, if you will. That's where the cursed fen is. There's the port of Last Voyages. It's actually not the worst place in the world, but it is kind of like a den of pirates and thieves. So it's not like some cursed evil where you'll die just by living there. But the curse there is civilization. The curse is that like everyone who's there is a jerk and will, probably, throw you. They'll invent the bus just so that they can throw you under it. Let's put it.
Sounds perfect for us.
The
Well, but we're
Sargasso.
hunting. So do we want okay, go ahead.
No worries. The Sargasso of Regret is like as you would imagine, like a ship's graveyard. And there are many rumors that there are great treasures to be had there, but you have to contend also with all of the terrible, terrible things that are there. which rumors say can range from ghosts to sea monsters to even greater dangers that one has yet to imagine. There is the Ogre Warrens to the southwest, which is probably one of the most civilized areas here, but it is just ogres, and people have their opinions of what constitutes an ogre society.
Mhm.
Which you ask anyone and they'll give you a different answer each time. There's the colony of Tamira, which is actually a human colony from a human kingdom to the southeast. Although they are relatively civilized, they're also slavers. So if you're not human or like one of the, I almost hate to say fair races, which is not a very fair term, they will probably try and sell you into slavery. And then there is the colony of the Pontifex. This is, at least in this area, kind of like one of the extensions of the Pontifex's arms. And it is one of the worst places you could go. It's just a big pop-up city of monsters and villains and evil wizards. And like basically everything that Conan hates is here. James Earl Jones will kill you with a snake arrow. You don't even screw around.
Hey man, I would be honored, honestly.
That'd be awesome.
But
I mean,
those are the places-
if in real life James Earl Jones just came up and punched me to death, I think that'd be okay.
You guys, so this is the one thing I always have to name drop. So one of the really cool things in my life as a poet is I was once involved, after we won the National Poetry Slam, we were like, not really, but locally famous. So there's a group that does stuff for kids involving soccer and poetry in town. And they had a poetry slam for children. And I was the guest, celebrity poet judge. And the guest celebrity judge was James Earl Jones.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Because he overcame a stutter by reciting poetry as a child. And now he has one of the best voices in the entire world, as we all know.
Right.
And he's famous for this. So he agreed to do it because it was a charity thing for kids. And I got to hang out with him for 2 hours, the two of us, as the judges of this children's poetry
Oh
competition.
my God.
That's pretty
That's
sweet.
amazing.
Wildly humble, kind, interesting, and just a total like gentleman. He was
Yeah.
as cool as you think he is.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
just
so
an
cool.
ordinary experience.
That's awesome.
For a second, I thought you were going to say he was wildly problematic. I mean,
No, not at all. Not at all.
you hear
Thank
his takes
Thank
on-
goodness.
And he's not
No, no.
allowed to say, I am your father or whatever the
He's not allowed, or he doesn't
not
allow.
allowed by contract. So he says
Wow.
it for kids with Duke.
He says it for kids
Oh.
with what?
Yeah, so he said it for the kids using Duke instead of Luke.
Because he's not like he
Oh.
can't say
Oh
that.
yeah.
I get it. That's cool. I mean, I'm glad that he does that.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer that they don't let him in. Well,
And it's so stupid. Like, I mean,
It's
really, I
so
don't think
dumb.
anyone at the like soccer and poetry event in Denver was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird contract. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
but
to
it's
hear
one of the
that.
very weird, like there's a couple of weird little blips in my life because of that strange poetry thing that I did. It like,
That's so cool.
yeah, it had cross sections, and that's one of them. Yeah, and he was lovely, just so you know. Anyway, side
That's
note.
Well, I'm
awesome.
glad to hear he was as great as I always imagined.
He started
That's-
first choking a lot of the kids, but
But also, Jen contractually can't talk about that part.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Space magic choked the
Just
kid. You're
soccer
right.
and poetry, that's it.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So but that's fantastic. I love that. That's an awesome story. So I've kind of laid out the different places that there are here if you want to go to one of them. Some you're more likely to want to go to than others, but I figured I would just kind of give you the lay of the land, as it were, to show you what is here, what to avoid. And also, if you wanted to go and pirate somewhere, probably you want to go to that port of last voyages. But
Yeah.
again, you'll have to be careful because you never know what the hell you're going to find there. Probably a knife in your back. That's like the statistically most likely thing, but you know.
I mean, my vote is for this nice little hub of scum and villainy.
Well, well, let me say, if we want to go anywhere and we're not just hunting, probably the Ogre Warrens, because that is a society as I know it, and you got a society. There might be some rules, and the port of last voyages might be exciting, but I don't think we're gonna get a fair shake on anything. The Ogre Warrens, from what I remember, we may be able to we may be treated at least a little bit more fairly.
What do I really know about?
Can I just say that I think it's easier for us to fish in the sea, and we can avoid the cursed parts and the den of iniquity that is the port. I will, at some point, if we decide that we're brave, Crow, you might seek some treasure past the fishing grounds. But I say we fish and go back.
But perhaps we visit the port, maybe get a boat to go fishing in.
I'm a lizard. I can swim. I don't give a shit what y'all do. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's me and the rats aren't going to have as good a luck in the waters.
Right, but how much do you think that ship, that boat, is going to cost us?
I don't know, but also, don't you rust?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, what? I mean, water.
Sorry, what did you say?
I mean, let's just call a spade here. Water, salty water, can't be good for you.
Have you ever seen iron like this?
I
And you
have
see
not.
him. This iron is like jet black. It shines kind of like iron, but it is jet black. I think I'm going to be fine, my friend, underwater.
Well, listen, it's you going underwater. I'm trying to take care of my good buddy.
Your good buddy, who?
Some of us
Rob.
need a boat.
What's that? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Some of us need a boat.
Wait, what's the vote? Sorry.
Well, should we get a boat?
My only point is that if we go to the port of last voyages and we get a boat or we get a pint, we get anything there, we just walk inside, we're more likely to get slit than to catch some fish.
Well, here's my thought on it. We go to the port, we make some deals, we get a boat, we go out to the Sea of Regret. Hopefully that these names seem mighty ominous, but we make we take our time, we get a couple pieces of treasure for ourselves. We make our way down to the colony. We purchase some of the enslaved people, not to have slaves ourselves, but to free them and basically utilize them in our own colony. Let them live free.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to just go out to get some food.
We need
And vulture eggs and
also
mushrooms.
is full of spirits and ghosts and
I'm simply suggesting we get some people out of this colony of slavers, allow them to live in the cursed fen. Not that it's going to be a great place, but it can't be worse. And they can help provide for the colony. We're going to bolster our ranks there.
We are not purchasing slaves.
Listen, I'm not saying we utilize them as slaves. I'm saying we purchase them out of slavery.
Well, you know, that's-
I would also like to
that's-
go to the Port of Last Voyages. I would like to get some information. For me, I think breaking this curse is our number one goal, and sitting at the cursed fen is not going to help us. Fighting off ghosts every day. We can go fight off other people and hopefully get to the bottom of this and kill our way out of it.
I will say, if we go to the port, then Crow.
I mean, they seem like my
Fine.
kind of people.
At least he's not going to steal from us there.
Right, he can steal from the other thieves.
All right.
Um,
And gather information.
you can gather information. I am going to slip into the water and catch some fish.
If we get into a spot of trouble, Crow, I'm used to talking my way out of things. Are you? Or are you just used to slipping off into the night?
Well, you know, I've been known to do a little of both.
All right. Well, if the time comes to it, perhaps you let me do some talking.
I mean, you are more than welcome to do all the talking you want in a den of pirates and thieves, but there's a little honor between us.
All right. I'm still going to be watching you. You understand that?
It's going to be like watching fireworks.
Let's
All right.
stop talking and head to the port.
All right. So you all
All right.
decide to head to the port. I would like one of my famous homemade using 11 herbs and spices survival and percentile checks.
Let's
What does
see here.
percentile mean?
It means a D100.
I'll roll that real quick.
Oh, where's my survival?
Get that out of the way. 67, because I don't have much for survival.
Everyone or just
Just one person. And
Oh,
I'll be kind and I'll let one person decide. And in fact, somebody tell me what they want for the percentile out of what has been rolled. Like you all choose, and I will take that result.
what do you
I
mean?
thought my survival didn't roll. I don't know why.
Weird.
Your
No, I
I see your
see.
survival.
It's up there.
survival rolled.
Yeah,
I think it might just be slow on your end.
yeah, you got a 17.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'll take the first D100. I don't know why it rolled twice, but that's not fair to make it 93.
So did you
So
want
we,
to all
we,
all
we get to pick?
Yeah, I want you all to decide which of those rolls that you will go with
Let's do-
of the D100s. I'll just take the high survival.
Like which person?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like what seems more interesting to you? Do you want that spicy 93 or do you want to go with a safe 29?
Spicy 93.
a little
I
spice?
don't know. 93 sounds like some fun.
Sure, 93. And how do we, so we all need a survival or no?
Just one person can roll the survival, and like I said, I just took the highest of them. So you all make your way through the kind of wetlands that comprise the area between the Cursed Fen and the Port of Last Voyages, and as you make your way through, you all are trying to keep yourselves relatively dry and moving from tree branch to tree branch until you notice that there appears to be kind of a moving island up ahead with a tree growing out of it, until you realize it's not an island. It is a giant crocodile. When I say giant, do you all know what a Sarcosuchus is?
Prehistoric crocodile?
Yes.
Yes.
That is what you see.
What? What is it
And-
called?
A
Sarcosuchus.
Sarcosuchus.
Can you spell that?
So, yes.
I agree.
They're like a 9,000 pound crocodile.
Did these actually ever exist?
Yeah.
Yes. So at least, according to the kind of fossil records.
Well, It also depends. Are you a creationist?
Oh my God.
I'm a flat earther.
Yes, Luke.
still
and
wearing
God
masks.
put them.
Just so nobody thinks
God
I'm a
put them. Sorry, Jen.
But let's see. Go ahead and look at that size chart, but you'll see like how big crocodiles get. But there's like the one at the bottom is just like your run of the mill garden variety crocodile, I guess. And then as you get bigger and bigger, like those are like the king crocodiles that existed in the past that would prey on dinosaurs.
And we're at the how'd you say?
Let's just call it Sarcosuchus imperator. But yes,
Sarcosuchus.
probably big enough to swallow you whole. And for some reason, it is growing a whole tree out its back, like out of its dorsal area.
Big enough to swallow all of us whole, and the mighty full probably 4 times whole. So perhaps we sneak around this one.
Yeah, that sounds like probably a pretty good idea.
That is not a bad idea. Certainly, it's going to be tricky, and you can tell that this thing has sensed you and is kind of on the prowl because it knows that something is around. So I will need.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say I will need stealth checks from everyone.
Oh, speaking my language. Not really, though. Not that as well.
Nailed it.
Oh no.
And I'm throwing a map together,
Oh,
so pardon me
Oh
for.
no, I'm dead.
Let's see.
Well,
Maybe not, because the rest of us rolled pretty good.
yeah. Also, can you speak with this thing? I mean, aren't you guys kind of related?
I do speak primordial, actually.
Always here for you, love.
So I'm just going to say this is kind of a big map, but we'll just say that you all are making your way across a river. I'm going to give you one of my famous rectangles of death.
oh no.
Can I
it is-
try to talk to it?
So this is just an animal. And this would be one of those instances in which if you were a ranger or a druid, you would possibly have a better chance.
Okay. But just
But
because I
wait a
speak
second.
primordial doesn't mean he does.
You don't think this thing speaks any language.
All right.
It is just an animal and therefore does not like it's not sapient in any particular way.
Are we we're in a forested area or like
This
I mean,
is a
swamp?
like this is kind of like swampy marshland type.
So pretty canopied trees and everything, right?
Yeah, like it's all kind of like grown together, mossy, fen, swampy. Like everything is either wet, some form of plant or fungus life, or a combination of the two.
Are there any other rats around?
Like rats, yes. If you wanted to look for the presence of like of ratkin, you could if you wanted to. And regarding those stealth checks, that was a very fantastic group stealth check, which means that negates that 4. If the majority of you succeed, then all of you do, which is a good thing about a group check. So the good news is that you get across this area, and let's just kind of, I'm going to move the rectangle down here to say, basically to show that you've kind of traversed the area. So you're now down here.
So none of you probably care, and I'm a big nerd. But I wanted to see exactly what a fen was, and it turns out it is only one N, and it is
Oh,
But it's like a name if it's two N's.
it is a unique wetland, and it relies on groundwater input and requires thousands of years and it
okay.
accumulates.
Okay. Well, now you've just ruined my suspension of disbelief, Jen,
I'm sorry.
with your fen. Oh, right. Okay. Well,
My-
I'm not even a robot in real life, so I don't know. I don't know how I can play this game anymore. Sorry. So it is
Can I talk to a
man.
rat and ask if that giant crocodile's evil or?
I'll say that you find that there's just like all kinds of rats just swimming through the waters and so on. And so you find one. And do you have the ability to speak with animals as a gnome?
Yeah, I'm a gnome. Yeah, exactly. So I can speak to small creatures.
Fantastic. So you do, and the rat basically tells you that alligator or crocodile or whatever is cursed, and that something happened to it to make that tree grow out of it. And that it is slowly turning into some kind of plant life.
Does it speak common?
What's that?
Does the crocodile speak the common tongue? Or
At least not as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
But does your ability let you specifically speak with small animals?
It says, yeah, small or smaller.
You think if you had any other ability to speak with animals, you could talk to this crocodile, but
I
sadly you
have
didn't.
that one, unfortunately.
So the croc is cursed and turning into
Like some manner of plant
Botanical?
life.
some kind of, it's turning from fauna to flora.
Correct. And even being just an animal and not particularly sapient, it's still a bummer.
Had to speak with animals in so many other campaigns. Dang it.
I always say anytime I don't play a wizard, I regret not playing a wizard.
Yeah, my first character was a druid, and I forget how much I love all the things druids can do.
They can do so much cool stuff.
Ah, druids.
Nala will come back someday.
Yeah.
One day. One day we will.
So I'm assuming Miltiades tells us what the rat said.
Yes.
Yes, I would imagine.
So he is cursed like we are. I don't want to kill him.
No, nor do I think we could.
Well, normally we would try, but
Well, and it seems that we've made our way around it pretty well.
Yeah, if
so I don't
anything, I
think-
was gonna try and talk to him, but it doesn't seem like that's possible for us. So let's just carry on.
Yeah, I don't think there's the need for this right now. Perhaps if it's in
so did we
self-defense.
make our way around it, or did you just move the box of death?
You did make your way around it.
Oh, well,
Basically, like you've traversed that area. You're like on the other side of it, and you can like proceed further.
Oh yeah, I would like to thank my rat friend as well.
Yeah, and so the rat friend does tell you like there's something weird going on. Like this fen has been here for quite a while, and it has always been just like a fen. But the rat does tell you that he's worried that something else is happening to this to make it like not just kind of corrupt like a swamp can be, like with all this weird kind of odd fungal life, but that something magical is corrupting it.
Bad swamp.
It's growing another oh my god. But you all make your way past with no problem. You have at least for the time being conquered this area that I have dubbed the layer of the Mossadile, and have proceeded towards the towards the port of Lost Voyages. So you've made your way successfully there without further incident.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm writing Sir Lawrence right now too.
No.
All right.
A cat mount.
But let's see. So you don't need that map anymore. But going back here, I just kind of did a little Indiana Jones kind of dotted line to show that you went from the Cursed Fen to the port of Lost Voyages. Now, we've done a lot today. We've made characters. We've kind of gotten together. We've figured out like the kind of premise of the game, and you've done a combat and evaded a rather large Mossadile. Are we okay to stop there? It's almost 9:30, and then maybe just kind of take a little bit of time to go over the game and whatnot.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So really cool. I love all of the characters, and the characters are fantastic. And I'm even more eager to see their interactions with each other, because I can see a lot of sarcasm and fun times between them. But let's see. I'm trying to remember. There's this things like this thing that people do at the end of sessions called like stars and wishes. So just kind of going over like the things I liked, and then also like maybe kind of like, oh, I'd like to see, or I'd love to have, or it would be cool if. But I'll start. Y'all have come up with some amazing characters, and I want to know more about them, and I want you to know more about them. So I think that's really cool. I'm going to do my best to try and like do a decent mix of combat and role-playing type stuff. And so if you ever want to turn that slider one way or another, all you have to do is say, hey, this game I would like to do more combat, or this game I feel like I would like to do some role playing. And one thing I would hope to encourage is, if you want downtime, your characters may be able to do things like use their money to influence the Cursed Fen so that you can help them out. Or you might be able to increase your personal fortunes, because the curse, though it has a heavy toll on you, you might try and elevate your status with wealth and so on. So that I just want to offer that to you all, so that you don't think that your existence as a character is tied to just the things that happen in this game, that you can kind of carry forward like the fate of your character by making these kind of downtime activities, if that makes sense. Let me think. I loved everything that you all did this week, and it felt really cool just to see you all already work together, like getting up on someone's shoulders and making sure that everyone is okay, and talking to rats and so on. So I think I already see that kind of camaraderie carry over from old games, and I think that is one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced, just generally speaking. So I'll stop and point to the next person and see who would like to kind of go next.
Oh, go ahead, Jen.
I was just gonna say, I love all these characters, and they're so interesting, and I think they'll be an interesting mix. As always, like, Luke makes fantastic characters, and he's gonna be like, the character is gonna be a pain in the ass all the time, but it's going to bring us like the idea that we're in this like dead, desiccated place with no treasure, and he is compelled to seek treasure, I think is going to lead us into lots of interesting things. And that's really cool. And I don't know. And I love the whole like curse overlayer of it, I think. Is so. Yeah. I like both. I really like combat, but I really like exploring some of the other adventures that we can have that are not necessarily combat based.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think one thing that's kind of sweet about this group right now is we actually don't have a very well-rounded group. We don't have like a tank, you know what I mean? So it's going to lead to
pretty tough, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to lead to like, I don't know, different strategies. Not Andre runs in there and then everybody
stands around and shoots.
Yeah, so I dig that. Like, I feel like the way we took out the Mossadile would not have been, a classic strategy.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Do something.
Well,
Kill
and
it.
I think to Jen's point that like, yeah, I think we naturally have a pretty good balance that seems to be pretty satisfactory to everybody, because there were times where in the last games, even though the one-offs that we did before, where it was like, this could easily be a combat, but we end up talking our way through it, or uh, Andre runs in, it's like, oh, we were gonna talk. Okay, well, here we go. Now this is the interesting part, because I feel like I appreciate you asking, or putting that forward to us, that we can be like, oh, we kind of want to do this. I think it always kind of evolves in a very interesting way, just with us as players, because we go with what each other does, and with what each other sorry, my words are getting confused. We all work together, and we have interesting things to do as players through our characters. So I think, yeah, I don't know.
A little like metagame
Awesome.
backstory. The whole reason I'm a lizard folk is because in my other game in this world, we came across 3 lizard folk, and the assumption, normally it was in one of our first sessions, would be that we would fight them and everything.
Mhm.
And one of the characters in my other game was like, wait a minute, can't we just communicate with them and ask why they look lost? Can't we find out why they're lost before we fuck them up? And we ended up finding a way to communicate with them. There was some interpretive dance involved. There's a lot of but we ended up finding out that they were just forced to wander and look for something, and they actually had a backstory, and they were a little freaked out and lost.
Yeah.
And we helped them find their way. So that like kind of stuck with me, that like they look like these creepy fucked up characters, but that I liked them.
Yeah.
And that we wouldn't have known that if one of the people in our party hadn't decided to try and communicate with them. So anyway, that was just a little, that's why I'm a lizard folk, is because that happened in another party where, again, like sometimes we can, I mean, I want to fuck stuff up. Like it's a role-playing game. Like we should fight.
Oh, we
Yeah.
definitely need to at times.
But I do like the fact that we can explore other options sometimes as well. I think that's interesting. It makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, I'm super excited to be I'm super excited to be a character that doesn't run in, and I'm super excited that it is going to take some different strategies.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like this setting too. Yeah, kind of stepping away from Faerun and like having this kind of compact but like deep backstory already. I'm like more interested to hear. I'm also interested to hear more about the dwarf and elf wars and the old gods. So
Yeah.
I like this already.
Yeah, I dig the idea of the heavy lore. That could be really cool.
I have a tendency to like work in all of this weird unpacking of the lore, so you're going to learn a lot more about it as time goes
Cool.
on.
That's great.
And yeah, there's all kinds of crazy things. Like the way that this setting works is so weirdly intricate and interconnected that like I don't know if you all ever did this as kids, but if I found like like twine that was all knotted together, I would spend like hours unknotting it.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel with this setting. There's like so many weird little knots in there that like as you go untying them, like you find so many interesting things about how it all like interconnects. So I'm eager to kind of explore that with y'all and kind of walk you through some of the finer points of the setting. So absolutely. That is awesome. Thank you all as usual. This has been a super fun game. I always love the synergy that this group has, and I'm always very happy with the fun that we have. I feel like there's never or there's hardly a time where the group doesn't go in a direction and that everybody isn't like somehow happy with it, even if it's like, oh, we just got dragged into combat by so and so, or someone pissed off the local noble and now we're like running from the law or something. It's like somehow in the course of all of that, lots of fun is had, and I think that's the best way to be. So
Well, and I like that people are consistent with their characters. Like that's
Mhm.
an element of it, of course, that speaks to my world. And like I'm cool with doing something that's crazy if it's like, well, that's what that character would do. So we should,
Mhm.
so that's cool.
I like, yeah, I mean, the great part of storytelling is the consistency, but like, how is interesting is it when a character, like, there is a choice to like kind of go off from their kind of from what they would normally do. Like, when you have that much consistency, it's like, oh, why are they doing this? That's really interesting. Either that's some growth for good or ill, or perhaps they're possessed, or it's just like it's
Or
like they're
possessed
so
by a demon,
consistent.
it could be either.
What was that?
I said, or they're possessed by a demon, or
Yeah, they could be,
Yeah,
which is also an
whatever.
interesting story point, perhaps. It's like, yeah, consistency is good, because when you deviate, oh, that makes it even more interesting. It's
Totally.
I'm basically just setting it up so when Draw tries to kill all of you, it's not a surprise.
Draw.
Oh,
Somewhere there's like an order 66 for draw, and then he's gonna
Yeah.
like, go
I mean,
bug wild
yeah.
on everyone.
wow.
Order 66.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I think that was fantastic. It was
Yes, thank you.
one heck of an inaugural game. And I hope everyone who watched had a lot of fun and enjoyed watching us, because we are having a lot of fun doing it. I think this is maybe one of our better attended games we've ever had. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And with luck, you will be watching this in the future. I may start uploading these to YouTube, and maybe that'll be a thing too. But thank you, everybody. As always, thank you to my viewers. Thank you to my players. Thank you to everyone who is an inspiration. And I think that's it. Oh, just real quick, watch us tomorrow. We're going to be doing War Drums of Mount Nimrod, set in the same setting. Eventually, there's going to be some crossover, whether that's setting-wise or actual like wacky hijinks. Who knows? The future has not yet written. And then come back and watch me on Thursday, on Thursday, where I will hopefully finish Super Castlevania. All right.
Oh, cool.
That is me.
I actually might come watch that.
Yeah. If you go to my Twitch channel, like there was a 2-hour video of me playing it like recently, so you can go check that out. But yes. All right. This is me signing out. See you in the future.